You know, the careers of 9 out of 13 actors end after their debut serial. Enjoy the fame while it lasts. Dead canids in the service tunnels. Domesticated canids? Why, that's utterly revolting. Frankly, it doesn't matter to me if they were domesticated or feral. Feral canids are like the unemployed. Their existence implies the need for a loving master. Every canid, regardless of their physical attributes, is a companion to their master. To kill a companion is a profound and unforgivable breach of trust. I'm glad I chose not to participate in this loathsome canid review. I will, however, take their trophy. My eye! I was wondering where I'd misplaced that old thing. It's perfectly preserved, you know. Every eye possesses unique dimensions, not unlike a fingerprint. The circumference, the shape, the color of the iris. An eye makes excellent proof of identification, assuming you don't mind removing one. Well, that's rather responsible of you. I'll put a good word in your permanent record. I'd rather not get into the details. If Spacer's Choice ever asks you to test out their new model of monocle, just say no. What's on your mind? My trophy! Look at this thing! Have you ever seen a more garish monument to the boredom of the elite? If only Grandfather Mostly were alive today, I would have loved to wave this trophy right in front of his cataracts. I hope you won't take it personally when I say I had my doubts about you. Nothing ever gets done in Byzantium, you see. Competent work is, well, a statistical anomaly. Lifting the emergency lockdown requires overrides from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. Access to those facilities requires authorizations from 2 senior-level researchers, Marion Blakesley, Jasper Lowe. They went into hiding after the project collapsed, but I've managed to calculate their last known whereabouts within a reasonable margin of error. I see you're familiar with my technique. I'd love to show you my numbers, but there aren't nearly enough napkins in this room. After the project shut down, I had to keep my mind occupied. I worked on my actuarial tables, calculated the average lifespan of a Spacer's Choice worker, that sort of thing. I realized some of the researchers had to be alive. I ran some numbers, did a little research, and concluded that the 2 most likely survivors are Marion Blakesley and Jasper Lowe. Nonsense. I just needed a good old-fashioned statistical problem to busy my mind. Keeps the faculties lubricated. I'll tell you what I can. Dr. Marion Blakesley supervised the Human Inquiry and Auditing Facility. Live subjects, measuring tape and syringes, that sort of thing. Someone sabotaged the facility. Blakesley tendered her resignation and vanished. I'm reasonably certain she's hiding in a maintenance bay on Groundbreaker. Well, with Spacer's Choice equipment, who even knows? Dr. Blakesley tendered her resignation lawfully, but under suspicious circumstances. If you want to know more, you'd best ask her yourself. I'm asking you to trust in the predictive power of data. Dr. Blakesley may have disappeared after that sabotage incident, but the trajectory of her life was implied in her permanent record. Dr. Lowe described himself as a dazzling genius in his review. I disagreed. Of the 19 criteria that constitute the rubric of genius, Dr. Lowe only met 15. After the project shut down, corporate traded him off to Anti-Cleo in exchange for 5 lab coats. He's been transferred to an orbital lab around Olympus. Our office gave Dr. Lowe and his team every opportunity to develop a drug under perfectly reasonable guidelines and generous deadlines. Dr. Lowe failed to meet our requests and largely succeeded in using our supply of drugs to get himself higher than the mortality rate of a line worker at a Saltuna cannery. Try to exercise caution. It's good for your lifespan.
Someone has left a threat. Please drop out the groundbreaker of doom.
Let's try.
Hey, you! Over... Hey, you! You serious? Get back here! So, hey, you're trespassing, and I'm armed. Maybe take a second look at your life choices, pal. Used to be, but I'm not with Rizzo's anymore. I'm one of the gardeners now. All of us kept the peace for the corpse once, but we got tired of being used. Okay, so maybe technically speaking, there was an incident involving a vending machine and some live rounds, and maybe technically I was unjustly terminated. There's a whole bunch of us fell on hard times one way or the other. So we decided to,
Help the people of Groundbreaker live safe and happy lives out here in the void?
What? No! We're working private security for this crazy hermit lady instead. Anyway, Blakesley's given us standing orders to strongly discourage anyone who tries to come in. I like to, extrapolate from there. We ain't subversives. We're gainfully employed. This is a private contract. For Marion Blakesley. Dr. Marion Blakesley. Very legitimate. Thing is, she don't want visitors. Miss Junlei can't get too mad if we rough up some trespassers. Especially if I was nice enough to warn him first. Huh?
Hi, I'm the girlfriend.
Oh, shit. Fine, fine. You want to check out the lab? Go for it. We won't stop you. But Blakesley's got her own setup in there, and she doesn't like guests. So, if you get shot, I'm telling Junlei I never saw you. This one's clear, guys.
Nice work, Cap.
You'll see how a Spacer's Choice cadet takes care of, I think it's jam. Wow.
Everyone sit you up some expensive food. That's a good boy.
Out for them. I'm sure one of the auto mechanicals can explain.
Here we go!
Nice one! Don't mess it.
Observation log. Date. Well, never mind. Hybridization efforts have proven successful, and the nursery's yield is improving steadily. Meanwhile, the psychological benefits of gardening are difficult to assess without a control group. Subjective reflection suggests minor gains in memory retention and contentment. Observation log, date, who knows. Subject number, well, let's call him Percy. Percy discovered the secret to success. He has lifted the veil and found the pattern. He wakes up, he listens for that bell 3 times a day. Food rains from the sky. He eats, he waits. Life is easy. But the second your molt comes in, pal,
Hear that humming? Sounds like some kind of generator.
Easy.
So who the fuck... Oh, wait, hang on, I can't hear a damn thing. Just gonna shut this thing off. Right. Marion Blakesley, what can I do for you, Miss Home Invasion? Cute. There have to be easier ways to steal some corporate property. Go chat up Sublight. Well, you found me, so you can't be that bad at your job. Guessing this is about that damn asteroid, Gorgon. That bastard. Is he still only mostly worthless, or has he achieved mathematical perfection in that regard? His predictive data. If I were on Byzantium, I'd have strangled him. Clarence lacks the attention span for this sort of thing. Someone wants to dig up the past, and you're the shovel, right? Why? Are you worth threatening? I don't have the slightest idea who you are. This some sort of shakedown? Have you been hanging out with the gardeners or something? My days are strictly regimented. Helps stave off the howling madness, keeps the crying to a minimum. Fucking with you isn't on the schedule. You came here, pal. Ha, he found that suspicious, did he? Here's a hint. The Adrena Time project was a fucking mess. Corporate demanded a product they could throw onto shelves. That put the squeeze on low at Chem to develop formulas, samples. But how do you know if the product works? You run tests, see what happens. That's where human inquiry and auditing came in. I ran HIA, and HIA ran the tests again and again and again. And what happens is a whole lot of wasted time and even more bodies. You met the gardeners. They're nothing but overgrown canids, but people love their fancy names. We were looking for a game changer, something to better the colony. It felt important, worth a few sacrifices. Spacer's Choice. They wanted to sell that change for as many bits as they could. None of us got what we wanted. Testing supervisor. I designed the initial testing regimens, managed the staff, made sense of the test results. Tried to anyway. People are complicated, and I don't just mean the test subjects. Try and avoid working with people if you can. It always gets messy. I'd have tidied up a little if I knew you were going to break in. You've heard the adverts, right? Work day and night, still feel refreshed the next morning. Now, what we tested for was dexterity, efficiency, compliance. The traits of a good employee. Numbers never came out right. I could have pumped gallons of those chemicals into every living soul in this colony. Wouldn't have changed that. What we got was marauders. And I got a hefty corporate paycheck for it, too, up until it all fell apart. That's not the part that made Spacer's Choice give up, anyway. You can still buy Adrena Time, after all. I was a good scientist. I had to have wound up on that asteroid for a reason. I worked so hard. We all get stuck in our own patterns. Magical thinking. That was mine. No excuse. Just cause and effect. That's all any of this is. Anyway, turned out it couldn't go on forever. Someone sabotaged the facility, freed the test subjects. Spacer's Choice wasn't getting much use out of us anymore, so they shuttered the project, kicked Adrena Time out the door. And I came here. I could have gone back to Byzantium, found a position somewhere else. Even started up something new, like mostly. But I couldn't stop thinking about. Indulge a scientist. What do you want out of this investigation of yours? Trying to liven up your memoir? Gets them every time. Your crew feel the same? Heck of a world out here for the shy types. What do you get out of headbutting murderous auto mechanicals for your captain here?
A family. Or something near to it. We don't always get along or nothing, but what family does?
Fair enough. That's all I've got. Here, I still have this pass. Don't much feel like hanging on to it anymore. Made my exit the moment the project started falling apart. Had to steal some credentials. This should get you into the volunteer induction entrance. Please, I just messaged people with fake demands for their passwords. That's when they didn't just leave codes written down on pieces of paper. If I couldn't talk my way out past a simple facility lockdown, I'd be working for Rizzo's. That'll get you inside. What you do from there, that's up to you. Come on, I've left it behind me. Yeah, well, you have to go on, don't you? Guilt's a useless emotion. What good is thinking about the past over and over and over again? Please, I don't need... Fine. Fine, here, I remember one of my access codes. Just punch in the keypad equivalent for replication. Should get you into the offices. Maybe get you to my terminal a little sooner. Go test that persistence of yours out on Gorgon. Yeah. I'll make sure the auto mechanicals don't bother you on the way out. Sure, take it. We're just drowning in dining options down here.
Like wrapped among the rocks.
This must be a step up from before.
Captain, an unknown vessel is approaching our ship. Their intentions are currently indeterminate. Once I deduce their intentions, I will play one of two audio signals. A cheerful fanfare if they are friendly, alarms if they are hostile. Their intentions are no longer unknown. At precisely this moment, Captain? No. Within the next 60 to 90 seconds? Yes. The unknown vessel has deployed a boarding mechanism. They will attach themselves to our airlock and attempt boarding shortly. That sound indicates that a boarding mechanism has successfully attached to our airlock. Captain, I am pleased to inform you that we are currently in the process of being boarded. I have been programmed to simulate joy and excitement at the opportunity to test my limited defensive capabilities. Captain Hawthorne installed a lethal shock trap on our airlock in the event of an invasion. I am prepared to deploy this trap at a moment's notice. I understand. Allow me to rectify my oversight. Captain, please be informed that our airlock has a death trap installed. The invading ship appears to be a decommissioned storage vessel. The crew are either pirates or freelancers. My opinion of their competence is low. Do you intend to board their ship instead, Captain? I have been programmed to appreciate the irony of this situation. Their ship is using a tracking device too sophisticated for their primitive astrogator. I conclude they are receiving outside assistance. If you prefer to make an escape, I can disable their boarding mechanism. However, As long as that tracking device remains on board their ship, they will be able to find us again. Understood, Captain. I will be deploying the Unreliable's lethal deterrence system. Please approach the airlock and enjoy the show. Now initiating more broken protocol.
Electrifying and lethal to germs.
Got my head in the game, boss. Maybe we can talk when we're done here? Got my head in the game, boss. Maybe we can talk when we're done here? Something going on over there. What was that? Hey! Whoever did this, come on out so we can return the favor.
Here they come!
Damn. You got some nimble fingers, Captain.
Welcome back, Captain. I understand you have resolved your differences with our former boarding party. Are you ready to depart? Understood, Captain. Resuming our course.
Looks like we missed all the fun.
Everything's going to be okay. Just breathe, Kelly. Everything's going to be all right. Ah! Stop making that noise. They'll hear you. Who's out there? Really? I would be indebted to you for life. But how do I know I can believe you? I'll have to come out to assess it myself. Hold on. I'm opening the door.
Let me just catch my breath. I swear, my heart's trying to punch its way out of my chest. Law, I'm so lucky you came along. I know it sounds crazy, But a little while back, I'd been gearing myself up to take a long walk off a short turbine platform. Then the security mechanicals broke out into a massacre, and I realized I really want to live. How can I help you help me get out of here? I'm Kelly Marine, the receptionist. And before you ask, I wasn't manning the visitor's desk when the mechanicals went haywire, 'cause no one comes here. Not ever. Not since all us station workers were dropped off at the start of the project a year ago. Right. Heck of a time for our first and only visitor to show up. Speaking of, why are you here? I dare say you sure came to the right place. I'd show you to our facility's turbine platform up in the storm, but my days of gazing into the abyss are over. When I used to sneak up there, though, I'd pilfer Dr. Lowe's key to the elevator. He's real absent-minded. Or was. Guess you can find the key either off his body or in his office. I can't make you any promises as to the condition of Dr. Lowe's person. If he's alive, I haven't heard from him. Watch yourself out there. If it's all the same to you, I'll just sneak my way onto your ship where it's safe. Drop me off on the groundbreaker and I'll be out of your hair in no time. But you said if I opened the door... Oh, all right. I'm not much in a position to barter. Take it. I swear this is all I have. Oh, thank you so much. I'll just hide in a crate or something. You won't even know I was there. Here, this is my official laboratory headgear. I won't be needing it anymore, so it's all yours.
This thing's orbit is stable, right? Ada checked before we docked? Captain? Oh, wow!
System investigation.
Nicely done.
Yates, where did I put the... Oh, wait.
work.
Imbecile. Shush. No talking. Concentrating. Damn it. I almost had it. The formula was in my mind, and I almost had it. I was so close to a breakthrough, I could practically taste it. You really did pick the worst time to manifest. Am I rambling? That's somewhat concerning, but not necessarily unexpected. Logorrhea is a well-documented side effect of withdrawal. Oh, hang on. I see what's happening. You're real. Ergo, not a hallucination. This is interesting. I have several questions for you. Let's start with the obvious. Who are you, and how are you even alive? All sorts of things. Science, mainly. A little bit of research. If you're talking about all the dead bodies, that'd be the pink slip protocol. Right. That answers that. Next question. Do you come bearing fresh pharmaceuticals?
I don't think this fellow's entirely in his right mind.
Look, we all know you're here to interrogate me. If I'm going to go through this ordeal, I'm not doing it sober. New friends mean new birthdays to keep track of, and I can't spare much room in my mind palace for frivolous trinkets of information. But in this case, I'll make an exception. No, you don't. There's nothing interesting in the chem lab. There's nothing interesting in Gorgon at all. Gorgon is a featureless rock dragged along by the gravitational current of a barren asteroid belt. The chem lab is a graveyard. You won't find anything there but the dead. Dr. Olivia Ambrose was one of the finest scientists in the colony. If you're risking your life to retrieve her journal, there's likely a good reason. If you've set your heart on exploring my old labs, I won't try to dissuade you. Indulge me with a favor, and I'll give you the access you want. The electromechanical turbine is offline. Without any power, I can't possibly continue my work. Be a dear and reactivate it for me. That's all I ask. Take the elevator to the storm platform at the top of this facility. Reactivate the turbine, and I'll give you the access you want. Facilities back on the grid, and my pipes again floweth with the sweet, sweet essence of my salvation. I suppose I have you to thank for realigning the machine. Of course, Jasper, you imbecile. Right, yes, of course. You'll need my voice to get into the chem lab. I'm obviously not coming with you, so I'm giving you a recording of my dulcet speech. This recording should get you into the chem lab. I hope whatever you're after is worth the trauma. I wouldn't go back there if I was higher than the mercury levels in a can of salt tuna. Wait, take my gun while you're at it. If you end up dying on Gorgon, there's a non-zero chance I'll feel partially responsible. Neither of us want that. Die, perhaps? Automechanical sentries are generally programmed to ignore corpses. I don't like the idea of going back to that place, to that life. Yes, I know it's not me risking my throat gallivanting around Gorgon. It's you, for whatever madcap reasons you've got. I've helped you once, and I don't feel great about it. I made a clean break from Gorgon, and now it feels like you're asking me to tether myself back to that place. I suppose you've got a point. Or something resembling a point. I'm emotionally addled right now, and I'm allowing my sentiments to get the better of me. Here, my personal security keycard. There's a hallway near the processing room. It leads to a security terminal. Use this keycard to unlock the hallway and disable security.
I'm on. No can do, Captain.
I thought about hiding in a crate, but they all smell sort of funny.
We are now in orbit above